Hi, everybody, and welcome to a special episode of Trials and Trebuchets. I'm your person, Luke, and joining me are a whole bunch of players to celebrate a birthday today.
Whoa!
But whose birthday are we celebrating?
I think technically we're celebrating the podcast's birthday, if my math is correct.
But if your math
That's
wasn't
right,
correct,
Luke, I've checked.
whose birthday are we celebrating?
And if my
But
math
is the
wasn't correct,
podcast
Day
a
of
legal
birth
body?
Are we actually celebrating? Like, who chose this system? Whose day of birth is this commemorating?
well, it's me.
Whoa!
Luke,
Happy
chose-
birthday!
Happy birthday, Luke!
We're a little bit late, but
But
2 months,
almost exactly.
No, just tell people that this is your birthday.
This is my birthday. My birthday's the same day as the podcast birthday. That's why it came out that day.
Oh, damn.
But
Well, the starting TNT was a
How
birthday gift for you,
self-absorbed.
right?
Exactly. I
The
never played
podcast is a
D&D
baptism
before,
of sorts.
And so today we're going to be playing a fun game, which of my choosing, I chose it. I'm forcing my friends to play it because I wanted to play it so bad. We're playing Tales from the Loop. So with that being said, I'm your loop master, Luke, and joining me are my friends whose names are.
Hi, I am one of Luke's friends, and I am Ben. Hi.
Hi, I'm a Loop player, and I am one of Luke's friends.
Loop.
And it's me, Carla.
Hi, nice to meet everybody. My name is Sarah. I'm a friend of Luke's. I'm really excited to do a podcast with everybody. This is crazy.
Yes. Yeah.
hi. I think I walked into the wrong room, but hi. My name is Sam. It's cool to meet you all. I can't wait for us to do a podcast.
Podcast? Oh, okay. Well, we'll sit down. We have an empty chair for you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, snacks, drinks.
And
perfect.
who's that knocking on the door? Yeah, you can come on in.
Hey,
What's your name?
Hi, I'm Nathan. I don't know if I'm supposed to be here or not.
You're the host of that one fucking famous podcast.
God.
Oh my gosh.
Please.
Podcast. Oh my gosh.
shit.
Hi, what are you doing
It's
here?
so
I'm
nice
Can I
to
get your
see you.
I've been a
autograph?
fan of yours for so
Oh
long.
my gosh.
I
Oh
don't
my gosh,
like.
well,
I don't want to embarrass myself because I have a huge crush on you, and I just feel
Oh my
really
God.
embarrassed
Oh.
in this moment.
That is a really embarrassing moment for you.
I know.
But yeah, no.
Anyways, we're gonna
I'm
be playing
here.
Tales. Nathan's here. Nathan's playing with
Yeah.
us,
Hey.
which is a great and momentous occasion. 10 out of 10. Can't wait.
Yeah, if you haven't listened to Conversations and Catapults, that's where I'm from. I know that my voice may sound unfamiliar.
So we're gonna go over some quick rules from the loop before we start playing. And this is a full-ass system, unlike a lot of the other games we play as bonus episodes. And so there's a lot of rules. We can't cover everything, but we're
Meaty.
gonna do our best. It's meaty.
Don't say it
So to start, Tales from the Loop is a science fiction game. It's set around playing as a bunch of kids in a rural environment and exploring a science fiction mystery landscape, similar to E.T., similar to Stranger Things, The Goonies. These coming-of-age stories where kids get into all sorts of hijinks and the adults are useless.
What?
Which is super up our alley.
High drinks?
Hi, drinks.
Hijinks.
Hi, drinks.
Yeah, we're getting
Delicious.
drunk in
You
this
know,
game.
I've never tried high drinks before, but the dispensary nearby was selling them, and I honestly thought they were kind of okay. But
I've
it has
actually
this
tried
gross,
one.
oily aftertaste.
I questioned it because there was a lot of bubbles and there wasn't a lot of liquid. But what I was able to actually drink, surprisingly good.
Did you hide it after? Because it's a high drink?
Oh, my Lord.
Bubbly.
So, that's like our base premise of this. We are going to be playing, if you know about Tales from the Loop, in the Swedish setting, because that's the closest thing to Canada, so we felt most familiar doing that.
Speak for yourself. I live in the U.S. South.
We have an American
Yeah,
here.
and then there's
We have
5
an
people
American.
from Canada. I'm sorry, Nathan. We outweigh this.
Yeah,
I'm sorry that you can't make concessions for me. You know, that
this
hurts.
game
I see where I
Damn.
stand.
pretty simple. It's a D6 pool system. So based on your score in a stat and in a skill, you'll just roll a dice pool. If you get a 6, you'll succeed. And most of the time, 1 success is all you need, but there are edge cases.
So you have different attributes that you can go off of. So it's sort of like D&D, but it's a little bit more simplified. So you have body for your physical skills. You've got tech for your technologically savvy skills. You've got heart, which is, your ability to make friends sort of like persuasion and such. And then mind, this is where your big brain comes in handy for all those big brain situations that you need to help get through.
Yeah.
And each of these individual attributes have 3 skills attached to them. body has ones such as sneak and move.
Yeah. It's just like the associated things with it. I'm sure they'll come up in play, and if they don't, go fucking read them in the book.
Jesus Christ.
We also have abilities to like increase our rolls via things like luck, which can let you re-roll your failures. Basically, the younger your character is, the more luck you have, whereas the older you are, the more attribute skills you can have, but the less luck you've got, and that'll allow you to re-roll depending on your luck skills. And you also have a mechanical thing called like your pride, which is like the thing that your character takes pride in, and once per session you are able to use that on a relevant skill to automatically get a success.
Yeah.
You can also own items. With an iconic item, you can add some extra dice to your roll, and I believe other items, depending on what the game master decides, can...
Loop Master, thank you very much. The game doesn't give me a cool title, so I've elected to call myself the Loop Master.
Okay.
It
Or
is your
Master of the
birthday.
Loop, because it's just more fun that way.
The loop master decides how many extra dice you get, depending on the item that you have.
Yes.
It's like
That's
you,
correct.
and it's like you can use it right away. Like you have to give reasons behind what you're doing to kind of help you along the way. So it's sort of like in
Yeah.
character, how is this going to help you?
Yeah, you don't just get like the skateboard of luck and then every single skill gets +2 to it. You have to tell me how the skateboard makes you more persuasive. And the reason is because it's fucking cool.
Because you get to do a
right?
kickflip,
Yeah,
and
do
then
a
you can
kickflip.
make people be your
Kickflip.
friends.
Yeah.
It's either super cool or you threaten them with
Yeah.
it.
Unlike other systems, there isn't an HP mechanic. Instead, you mark conditions. There are a total of 5. We have upset, scared, exhausted, injured, and if you get all 4 of those, then you have to be marked as broken. This means that you cannot succeed at any more skill checks for the rest of the session until you're healed, I believe.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes, until you're healed of your conditions.
Or like
Yes.
you meet with your anchor.
Yeah, and you can get healed in a cool variety of ways, by having a interesting scene or just a tender scene between you and a important person to your kid, or between kids at your fun hideout, which you all share and will be making in just a moment all together. I think,
everything.
Carla, is there anything else?
So most skill checks that you make, you're going to only need 1 success, like Luke was talking about earlier.
Yes.
But if you get multiple successes, you get to buy bonuses. That's why it's good to roll as many 6s as you can, because
Yes.
each skill has its own unique bonuses that come with it.
And then even within that, some skills, even if you just get 1 success, let you ask a direct question to me, the master of the loop, and I must answer truthfully. Or you can choose between what you want to use a skill to do. I think a lot of the tech skills you can choose to create something or modify something in some way. And so the game gives you, it's like very simplified and abstract in its skill system, but it also lets you get exactly what you want out of it instead of just relying on me, again, the master of the loop, to give you what I think you deserve, which is
Nothing.
good because it's a collaborative story, and I enjoy that fact about it.
And I think to wrap everything up, these abilities and skills can be based on the type of character that you are. The book allows you to choose different types of characters, such as a popular kid or a hick or someone else. So you'll find out. You'll find
whole
out
bunch.
who we're playing in a little bit.
Yes. And that just influences what they have as all these wonderful things. And most of them are just like tropes of popular coming-of-age fiction stories. So, before we get into asking each other some questions based on what kid you're all going to be playing, and then building our hideout, and then getting me to ask you some questions, I'm going to read what are the 4 pillars, the 4 most important tenets of Tales from the Loop. 1, your hometown is full of strange and fantastic things. Number 2, everyday life is dull and unforgiving, which is to say, you always have homework due, and you always need to go to school, and your parents will always just be your parents. 3, adults are out of reach and out of touch. This is very in line with our regular podcasting and playing of the game, where adults are useless, and they will not help you and solve your problems for you. The kids must solve these mysteries. 4, the land of the loop is dangerous, but kids will not die. Kids can be broken, kids can gain conditions and be hurt, but they cannot and will not be dying. 5, The game is played scene by scene. We're not just going to follow as if a camera is just following these kids permanently. We will cut through scenes. I will give you all chances to tell me if you would like a particular scene, and if not, we'll move on to the next kind of mystery scene. And then I lied. There's actually a sixth rule here, which is that the world is described collaboratively. So if you have an idea for something neat that you want, whether or not I have prompted you to tell me, I want you to jump in, even like between each other's scenes. And if you have an idea for something that could be somewhere, throw it into the mix. That makes a big fun stew of fiction that we are all trying to slurp out of, you know?
Why did you say it like that? You were doing so well.
What a beautiful image.
So how about we go around the horn and we just give a brief overview of our character. You can just say what your name is, what type of kid you'll be playing, and like your age, I guess, and any other like important features. You don't have to go into like anchors and problems and drives.
Should we do appearance?
Right? Yeah.
Like
Appearance. Appearance would be useful. So let's start with our wonderful introduction order. So Ben, start us off, won't you?
Whoa. Me.
Of course. Who
All
else?
right. So I will be playing Lars Vesterberg. They are a 13-year-old weirdo. That sounds so mean to say.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a shy boy. He's got some pale blonde hair with bangs that just go right above his eyes. His eyes are hazelnut brown, and he is often seen wearing a button-up shirt with suspenders. And he always carries around a cute little custom-designed binocular with like owl decor on the front of it.
And how old is Lars? And importantly, I forgot about this, the most important character creation question, what's Lars's favorite song? So how old is he and what's his favorite song?
So he's 13 years old, little Bab, and his favorite song is Vivaldi's Four Seasons.
Wonderful.
Adorable.
How refined. Wonderful. So we'll circle back at the very end and you can start us off with the questions after everyone's kind of given a summary of who their character is. Next up would be Carla.
So, if you don't know me, I'm Carla, and I am going to be playing a character named Esmeralda Cruz, but you can call her Emmy. She is 14 years old, and she's a popular girl. Her favorite song is Hit Me With Your Best Shot by Pat Benatar.
Of course.
And she has curly black hair, 5'8", medium brown skin, dark brown eyes, and you would typically see her wearing some fairly fashionable clothes. At this very moment, she's wearing a yellow hand-knit beanie. She has a geometric bright-colored baggy sweater, a matching bleached denim jacket and pants. On her footsies, she has a white scrunched-up sock with a signed, Michael Jordan signed, Air Jordans 3.
Oh my god.
Premium. Perfect. So that's Emmy and Sarah. Who is your kid?
So my name is going to be Ingrid Svensson, and Ingrid is the hick type. She is 12 years old. She has like sort of a very big, long nose. She's got very light blonde hair, freckles. She wears it down in a single braid. She likes to wear these light wash overalls, sort of very big Sorel style winter boots.
Hell yeah.
Nice thick long sleeve shirt, dressed for the outdoors, dressed for the winter. And her favorite song is Hounds of Love by Kate Bush.
Amazing. So that's Ingrid and Sam. Who will you be playing?
So I am playing Joel Rat Brinks. He is a 10-year-old little bookworm. You'll regularly see him wherever he's out. He kind of just goes everywhere because he just likes to go everywhere like a little rat. Just kind of.
He just gets places you don't expect him to.
He's just kind of everywhere, and he carries around his encyclopedia and his book bag that he likes to just kind of sit down and read whenever he has a free moment. He's a little pale kid with red curlyish hair, and more likely than anything, you're going to see him wearing an oversized camp t-shirt and a bright purple sweater that's tied around his waist. He'll put it on sometimes when he's cold, but like he's almost never cold, so he just kind of has it tied up.
yeah.
And he wears these nice little like knee length green shorts.
Fuck yeah. And what's his favorite song?
His favorite song.
Oh, I gave away my hand. What's his
What?
favorite song?
His favorite song is "Time After Time."
Oh, wonderful. So that's Joel Rat Brinks. And finally, Nathan, could you tell us about your kid?
I am playing a 14-year-old troublemaker named Yash. He, him pronouns. He is like a big, like, Indian kid with a shitty mohawk that you can tell he gave himself. Like, he also has, like, an oversized jacket and, like, a striped sweater and, like, he also has vitiligo on his hands and like a few spots on his face as well.
Okay, wonderful. And what's his favorite song?
My Philosophy by Boogie Down Productions.
Such a good fucking song.
It's a
all of the
great
songs
pull.
are so good.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's all of our kids. Everyone has problems in their lives, and those will hopefully come up during play. Everyone has anchors, people who are important and can calm these kids down and bring them back to like a level place in their lives. They all have drives, which will hopefully come up, and are all prideful about something. And again, they will be able to use that in play. There's relationships they have to NPCs, and as we'll do right now, they have relationships to one another. So everyone has a couple of options they can select for each of the other kids and to determine how they know one another, or you can make up your own. So we'll be starting with Ben and Lars. What is Lars's relationship to everyone else in the group?
I would say Lars kind of has a bit of a questionable relationship with everybody. Like,
Okay.
he sort of like orbits them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he gravitates towards them because they are the closest like cling to friends that he has.
Yeah.
I feel like the difficulty he has in expressing his feelings properly sometimes makes it feel like he's being intentionally distant and doesn't actually
Okay.
want to
Yeah.
like, you know, sort of actually engage in that friendship, but it's just a weird cycle that sort of contributes to his like his shyness and his lack of courage, really.
Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. So that abstractly applies to all of you. The weirdo orbits you all. Carla,
Like the
and
moon.
rather Emmy. What is Emmy's relationship to the rest of the kids in the group?
I would imagine that because like she's super cool, knowing that she like everyone likes her, having these people be like what do you call that? Like inferior?
Inferior.
Like no, it's just like that kind of thing where, oh, these people for sure will always like me. So I'm friends with them because of that. But I have the popular friends that I'm just like, yeah, these are my friends, everyone. But then these are the down low friends where it's
Yeah.
like, you will always have my back.
So at school and stuff, you'll hang out with your popular kid friends.
Yes.
And then after school, you'll like put on a hat and sunglasses and sneak out to meet with your loser friends.
Damn.
Yes.
So
Okay.
like these relationships are visceral.
Ingrid, what are Ingrid's relationships with everyone?
I think that Ingrid would sort of naturally gravitate to sort of the other kind of weird kids or other outcast kids because I think that she is also a little bit bad at fully expressing what she means and how she feels. And so she can sometimes come off like she doesn't like people when it's more like she doesn't always understand the nuances of how to make friends or how to talk to people. So I think
Yeah.
that these are the people who she feels are the most like her and who she feels the most at ease keeping company with. And so I think that it would sort of be this thing of like, I don't really know if these people consider me their friend, but these are the people who I have the easiest time being around and who seem to have the easiest time being around me.
Perfect. Joel, what is your relationship with all these older kids?
I think that there might be a contribution, if it's allowed, from Joel's mom and her occupation. as a locally known author. And so she kind of like goes around to talk to people. And so he's ended up meeting all of these other kids, like, because like maybe my mom had questions for them for her book and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then after meeting them once, he just like, he would go around town and he would just like notice them all the time. And so he would like, it slowly became like, instead of like being across the street and seeing, suddenly like there's just like little kid just kind of walking next to you and like looking at you.
Yeah.
And it's like, you like, he's adopted you as his siblings. And you can't get rid of him now. I'm sorry.
Motley crew of really socially anxious kids, and then Emmy, who's like, "I'm using you all."
That's so mean. What I said.
Yash, what is your relationship with everybody else?
Now that I've heard how pathetic just about everyone else is.
Oh my god.
Damn.
I think, and this is like up to y'all if this is okay, but I think there's like a protective aspect of if people try to pick on you, I will kick their asses. Mostly because you all are easy targets and I enjoy fighting. And so it's more like, you're easy bait that I hang around with.
I feel like we're just being held hostage at this point.
No,
We're
you're
all
wrong.
hostage in two different ways.
It is a genuine like protective aspect, but it started as like, oh, I'm gonna hang around with these kids because these are like trouble magnets.
Yeah, absolutely.
These kids
It's
get
almost
bullied, so I can beat up their bullies because I want to fight.
Older kids
Yeah, they wouldn't be
here
a
is just
challenge for
brutal.
me. I need a real like bully's bully, you know?
Wonderful relationships, everybody. So now that we know the status of the relationship from each of your perspectives and why you might be hanging out with one another, at least outside of school hours, we got to make ourselves a hideout, folks.
Whoa.
So there's some fundamental rules of the hideout. The hideout is always safe. You can always be alone there. No NPCs can ever find it unless you want them to and you show them where it is, right? While you're there, you can heal conditions from one another by having tender scenes together, and you all share it together. Like, no one gets their own individual hideout. So, what are we thinking for a hideout, everyone? What does everyone want from this?
I had a distinct sort of image that came into my mind, like right off the bat when this came up. So I don't know. I'm thinking just sort of like a large tree, right? Now think there's like an old like car tire, like a large car tire that's like slumped up against the side of it. But within that tire, there's like a hole and like a rope that goes down underground to like this open sort of spot underneath the tree. And there's got like a carpet down there. It's got like maybe a bean bag or two, like a table.
That rules.
That's
I
so
love
good.
that.
My distinct thought was literally like, we need bean bags in here because we're a bunch of kids who are not going to sit on normal chairs.
This reminds me of
so true.
Spider-Man. Spider-Verse.
This is the 80s. How many lava lamps do we have?
Very important.
Do we have access to electricity in this?
Four, one in each corner.
They're battery powered.
Oh, I love that.
I feel like Ingrid, because she likes to tinker, has brought in a lot of like little homemade, like little light fixtures and like little decoration things.
Yes.
Little like fucking Rube Goldberg machines to like turn a light on.
Joel has like brought in, like he just came in one day while everyone else was there with just a bag, and inside that bag was just a bunch of like books that he likes to read, but his mom won't let him read, so he just dragged them all out there. So it's like, I'm trying to think of like I think Lord of the Rings, like Lord of the Rings kind of stuff, like high fantasy that she just doesn't want him reading yet. Like give him a couple more years, but he just kind of took them all from the house and kind of snuck off with them.
That's wonderful.
I also think that there's like can there be like a specific corner that has a basket where if there's like any extra snacks that we have at home that we can bring it? Like I know that my grandma, my Lola always makes like pastries, like Filipino pastries that I refill that for everyone to have snacks and stuff.
Amazing.
Gotta have the dedicated snack basket.
I found a couch on the side of the road.
How did we
someone
fit
just
that
left
in
out
there?
You just shoved it down.
So at
Dismantle
first,
it, put it back together.
There's two ways to get in.
yeah, when Yash brought it to the hole, like it was very much he was just trying to like figure out how to angle it in there until Ingrid had to come in with like a screwdriver and actually like disassemble it.
With like a hacksaw and a screwdriver.
Yeah, that's on point.
Yeah, no, I was like, no, this is great. This will be for all of us. And Yash will like claim it as his couch. Like we'll slump over and it like take up the whole thing.
It's like this old, beaten up, ratty leather couch. It
Ugh.
smells a bit. It was out in the rain for a few too many days. So there's just a little blanket draped over it to like make it a bit comfier to sit on, cover up all those scratches and holes from wild animals going by. Yeah, it's this off the beaten path. It's like off of a service road where you can all like hide your bikes in the bushes so no one even knows you're in there and scuttle in when like cars aren't going by.
Just kind of going off the idea of like things that we're finding off the side of the road. I imagine that we have like a table, but one of the legs is completely gone. So all of the books that Joel brought in are now being used, like all stacked up to hold up the table. So every once in a while, he wants to take a book out, and it's like a Jenga game of like, well, is everything going to fall out?
Perfect.
I don't know if this would work for people, so let me know if it doesn't. But I sort of imagine like if there were like pictures, like Polaroids of any of us hanging out, like Emmy would not want those to be like a public thing. So maybe there's like a few like little scattered like things on the wall of like just us hanging out, like little candid photos of us in the little shelter that like do not leave it.
Yep.
Yes.
Can we have like a mini
Wonderful.
scrapbook where like if we did something super fun on a specific day, like we can write what our favorite part of it was and maybe like we can have a picture of what we did that day is.
The illegal scrapbook.
Yeah.
And so what's the name of the hideout?
Ooh.
The underbow. Underborough.
The underbow is actually pretty good because it's under a tree.
Under a big oak tree.
Maybe
So
an
you could call it
underborough instead of
Underborough? The
underborough.
Underborough?
Underborough.
Underborough.
It's like under and it's a burrow.
What about like underroot? Like
Underroot. What about
because
the badger hole?
The badger hole.
Badger hole
rat
sucks.
hole, rat hole, rat hole.
If it was just Joel's, it would be rat hole.
The rat.
Yeah.
So what's the consensus? What's our name here?
I like Underborough.
All right.
Yeah, I like
That's a good
that.
one. I like
That-
it.
I don't think we could get any
Yeah.
better than that.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
The Underborough. I mean, we could, but we only have 17 hours to play.
No, I think that's the peak of
That's the
naming.
pinnacle? Okay, perfect. So, now that we've described your wonderful little hideout, this big old tractor tire just covered in a bit of moss and hiding a small burrow into the earth with cool pictures hung up and books and stuff that shall never leave the premises for risk of your own personal embarrassment at the hands of Emmy if this gets in anyone else's like eyes. Lava lamps, books, blankets, couches that were rebuilt, a bunch of gadgets and machines that Ingrid has spent her hours and time and effort building. It's a place that feels like home, away from home, where you can be kids all together outside of the eyes of your parents. I have some questions for you all, both as kids individually and to the group. Lars, what's your favorite food?
Ooh, that might be tricky. I think a good carbonara.
Cool.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Emmy, what do you dream about at night?
I dream about flying to New York City and watching a concert of Madonna with all of my best friends.
Are those us?
Your
or is
actual
those
your actual
the
best
people
friends
from
or your
school?
school
Who's
best
the best
friends?
friends in question?
Her best friends in her dreams does not have a face. It's just like she just knows that these are people that she's comfortable with, but
Good answer.
she doesn't know who they are.
Ingrid, what do you want to be when you grow up?
I think that Ingrid wants to be a scientist.
Anything specific?
I think she knows that she wants to be some kind of inventor, but I don't think that she really understands like what that does. She just like reads these like books and like sees like movies and it's like, ooh, an inventor. And it's like, cool,
Yeah.
I want to invent.
Cool. Joel, do you have any siblings?
I have one older sister who.
What do you think about her?
She's pretty cool. When mom is working on stuff, like maybe she's like kind of locked herself in her study to work on the final draft of something. She kind of hangs out with me, even though it's kind of an obligation of like keep an eye on him, make sure he doesn't go off somewhere. Like she'll like let me play with her like dolls and like we'll play like dolls together.
Okay. How old is she and what's her name?
She's 12 and her name is Sierra.
Cool. And finally, Yash, what do you think about sports?
Every sports team I've ever been on has kicked me off for unnecessary roughness,
Well,
including hockey
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there was even like an American football team that we had here for Little League. I got kicked out of that. I think sports could, my parents thought they would be a good outlet for my aggression.
Yes.
And, it really depends on who it was good for.
Perfect. So, and now just some questions for the group before we get started. What secrets do you have?
As a group?
Yes, as a group.
I mean, our friendship with all of each other is like obviously
Yeah.
partly a secret, especially as far as Emmy is concerned.
Perfect. All right. What do you like to do as a group?
It seems like
We've
Do
traded
y'all
like,
like hanging out by the lake?
I feel like this group would end up playing role-playing games together because those were
Yeah.
very big in the 80s.
Oh my god.
Interesting.
I see that.
Interesting. All right.
Like, we
I'll
get
make-
Lars hooked because you can be a wizard with an owl familiar or like some
Yup.
other birds.
You could turn into an owl,
Yeah.
Did
be
you
the
know,
bird.
Lars? If you take this, if you like take this levels in wizard and you do this and you go and meet someone in nature, you can become an owl.
Joel plays an actual rat now.
And my last question: who among you is mocked?
Most of us.
And most of you, Lars, Ingrid, probably everyone except Emmy, mostly, right?
Yeah.
What are you mocked for?
I think those of us who are mocked because we're just kind of seen as outsiders compared to the other kids who are like, I don't know, like they don't get as much attention like maybe in the school,
Mm-hmm.
like when it comes to like teachers or stuff like that. So us getting into something at school, like whether it's being bullying, causing disruptions, that kind of stuff.
We sort of
Yeah.
it's
Like-
sort of like standing out in a way
Yeah.
that's almost like they don't like the fact that we're standing out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Ingrid has definitely been made fun of for being like a little bit more rural than the others, for being a little bit stiff, just for, her family being a little bit weird. I guess just any deviation from the norm, and it seems that we all deviate from the norm in some manner.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. So that's it for the questions. Your interview section is over, everyone. You can relax, take a breath now.
We'll call,
do I get the
you
job?
back in 5 days
I was gonna make
and let
that
you know.
joke then.
And we can get into it for real now.
For realsies! Oh my gosh!
For real.
I'm so
Oh God,
nervous.
This just got really real.
Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying the middle of this episode of Trials and Trebuchets.
Yeah.
Hi, what are you all doing here?
Sweden, am I right?
Wait, people listen to this? Oh yeah, there's a lot of those.
Wait, why are we recording this?
We're recording this.
We're all
to
just
say
in a funny, goofy mood.
we did a thing that's cool for our 3rd anniversary of making a podcast, which is on January 29th, the public one at least, which is when the first episodes went up. We made a merch store online at trialsandtrebuchets.com, the name of the podcast.com, where you can go and buy a t-shirt, or at least pre-order a t-shirt, which we're going to ship out as soon as we get all the orders for, and then a bunch of nifty stickers made by friends of the show. Such
Bet
as,
you never thought we would do this, huh?
Yeah, bet you never expected this one. Bet you
Surprising.
didn't think you...
Well,
it was
egg on
rough.
your face.
I think that's like it. Is there any other...
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
pretty
It's
much
really
it.
cool.
Pre-order a
Uh,
shirt, check out some stickers, maybe buy some.
And there's
Yeah.
like so many cool stickers. We've got
There
like
is. Yup.
we've got Dallas's hat and Mira's lyre. We've got one of like
It's a wonderful...
We're providing you with a
snake-
means to fill the trebuchet-shaped void in your life with merch.
I adore the sticker art. I want to put it on everything I own. Carla and I personally possess the ability to make as many stickers as our hearts desire
How dare you?
and put it on as much stuff as we want. So join us in that and order some dang stickers and a t-shirt, because the t-shirt is a cool Nesca art with the Trials and Trebuchets
best
on.
character, best
character.
merch.
I love her so much. We love an Ascendant in this house.
We do. I miss her so much.
She's with us in spirit, I guess.
And she can be with you
She's
in
in my
physical...
Google Docs.
She can be with you in physical form if you buy a t-shirt which has her on it.
No, we don't want her
wow.
to kill you.
So go check out trialsandtrebuchets.com for merch.
no,
and
stick it
t-shirts
on your
won't actually kill
forehead.
you.
And now back to your regularly scheduled podcast. Welcome to Tales from the Loop, everyone. The year is 1988. It's December. It's a frigid winter. It snows every single day. The sun goes down at 4 p.m. here in the town of Stenhamra in Sweden. You're located roughly 30 minutes on a good day, about an hour and a half on a blizzardy day from the nation's capital of Stockholm. Not that any of you go there, but your parents might on business every now and again. The town is small. 3,000 or so people live here, but you're not keeping track of that. Only a couple hundred kids your age live here, and that's the important metric. There's not that much to do here. There's a pizzeria that gets way too busy after school and during lunch. There's a ton of little kiosks that sell magazines. You can lift cigarettes from them pretty easily, and there's an abundance of snacks to be bought there. There's a supermarket that you think is a bit expensive, but again, you are children, so it's not of any of your concern. There's a small harbor that some of you might have taken boat tours on if you're of the affluent type, or if your parents just know someone who has a boat and have brought you fishing or something of the sort. There's a local park that's inside the bounds of the town. It's not quite wild and not quite urban, known as Hemingway Park. It's relatively new, or at least has been developed recently. They're thinking about building a couple of new ice rinks there due to the burgeoning hockey team and their success in the recent years. And of course, further outside of town is a wonderful place called St. Christopher's Church. Finally, very relevant to you all, there's two schools. Your school, which I've not named, and the rival's school, which I've also not named. I've left those blank because I would like all of you to tell me what is your school's name and your sports team's name, and what is the rival school's?
Oh, God.
All I can think of is the Plainview Red Herrings.
Oh, I got it. So the Red Herrings would be our school's team, right?
Sport team, yeah.
Does that mean the rival school team can be the Blue Tunas?
Sure. Absolutely.
Yes.
And what's the name of the
22 Jump
school?
Street.
The town, again, is Stenhamra, in case that does anything for you. But feel free to make up Swedish gobbledygook.
I'm not
gonna try
We have
that.
too many listeners in Sweden for me to make stuff up.
Yeah,
I'm
we
gonna
have
say
pretty
it's
big
something. I
audience.
mean,
We have a
say-
huge Swedish audience. We're burning that bridge right now today.
I'm gonna say it's maybe like a really boring public school, like Main Street, like
South
something like that.
Stenhamra.
What if it's Sten and the other one is Hamra?
Sten School,
Those are
Hamra
the two
School.
schools. It's Sten and
Sten
Hamra.
prep.
Sten Prep.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Well,
I really
South
like the
Sten
word
Prep.
prep.
Let's do South Sten Preparatory School.
Grundskola.
Grundskola. Yeah, South Sten Grundskola. That's Swedish.
I mean, isn't Grundskola like the
Yes,
term?
that's 1st through 9th grade, which is where all of you are living. And so would the other one just be North Sten in that case?
It's more South Stem.
Oh, they're more so. Okay.
There's nothing on the
so-
north side of town. Nothing.
South Sten.
It's too cold up
Grundskola
there. It's in the
and
north.
Southern.
Well, the problem is they called it North Stenhamra, but it's actually South because that was the older school. But then as they built it, the town kind of grew the other way.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
So it's called North Stenhamra, but it's geographically far souther, which is very bizarre.
Perfect. Geographically, this will come up. Geographically further south.
This will be on the test.
Those
This will be on the
adults, what
test.
were they thinking?
Perfect. All right. Go red herrings in that case. So, you live in an industrious northern town of Stenhamra in Sweden. The population is as such as I've described it, small town. You all have bikes to get around. You also have your feet to get around if you feel like walking places, or a bike can't really bring you into the woods very well. Depends on the type of bike you have. The more affluent among you, also known as one of you, has a card which gives you free bus rides. The rest of you must pay 14 krona per bus ride, which is not
I don't-
steep,
Expensive.
but it's a bit, you know?
One of these
So-
three pays for me.
Yes. But it's free to walk around, so that's what is opted for. Outside of what the 5 of you are up to as kids, your parents live here for one industrious reason or another. Either they are authors here and have lived in Sweden for a long time or have just moved here. They are recently immigrated in the last couple of years to work at the research facility, the Facility for Research in High Energy Physics, locally known and colloquially known as the Loop, which is a massive particle accelerator which stretches out in uncertain dimensions beneath you. You just know the radius of these particle accelerators to be large and their influence wide and their jobs very well paying to your parents. It's a very locked up kind of high security kind of thing. None of you have ever been there, although certain ones of your parents work there and talk longingly about a potential bring your kid to work day. Not that you think that's likely to happen or anything that would be fun. Around you, there are large pine and oak forests that stretch across the islands, the Malaren Islands as it was, and anywhere on the islands themselves, in your town, on the hills, in the woods, you can always smell the scent of those lakes, that salty-ish scent of a large, almost sea-like lake. And yeah, I think that's the scene set for us all to begin. So without further ado, we find ourselves on a cold and dark night in December in a small rural home. Ingrid, what evening chores are you getting up to right now?
Ooh, chores. I'm probably doing laundry.
Okay, wonderful. So you are in the laundry room, as it were. I am imagining this as just a single floor, kind of like short house, bright red siding so it doesn't get lost in the blizzards, of course. And so you can be doing laundry for you and your father, just silently, or are you doing anything else? Listening to music, the radio, perchance?
I think the radio might be on, but like the radio isn't great around here, so it's a little bit fuzzy, cuts out every once in a while. So I'm kind of humming to myself to make up for the song when it cuts out.
Okay, wonderful.
It's The Boys of Summer, because that song was on the playlist and it's fucking catchy.
It's a great song. So, while you're doing this, your evening chores, your father isn't in the house right now. He was out. He told you he would be off cutting firewood or something of the sort while you attended to the evening chores and kind of took care of yourself. He's been gone for the better part of like 5 hours, which is typical for the evenings. You are humming to yourself, enjoying the Boys of Summer in this dreary, bleak winter landscape. You look outside, and it's a pretty terrible blizzard, quite in fact. Probably one of the worst so far of the winter season. And the phone rings. A large rotary phone in the kitchen rings loudly. You can hear it cutting over the radio.
I'm going to put down the sweater that I'm currently attending to. I'm going to go over to the phone. I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to say, hello?
Oh, hi, Ingrid. Is that you?
Yes, who is this?
Well, Ingrid, you answer the phone and ask who it is, and you hear the wonderful and coldish voice of your Aunt Kristen, who will say, I just wanted to call. I'm going to the supermarket, and I wanted to know if you needed anything from it. That I can drop by later tonight or maybe tomorrow in the morning.
You can come by. My dad isn't home, so you can come over, but I was going to make dinner for myself tonight, but I guess you could bring some cans of soup because we're a little low.
Just cans of soup? Do you not want anything fresh?
Oh, I'm fine. You can bring something if you want. I could add some vegetables to it.
Did you want to come stay with me this weekend, perchance? I should be getting off of work on Friday pretty early in the day, so we could rent a movie, watch something. If you'd like, you could spend the weekend instead of being out in the woods with your father.
Oh, I mean, I'm really good here, but I would love to come over for an evening or something.
That would be wonderful. Maybe a full weekend.
Maybe. My dad probably wouldn't mind, but I want to help around. He's a little busy with a lot of chores lately, and I'm sort of picking up some of that. I don't know if I can come for the whole weekend, but I'd love to come for an evening or so.
Well, I would love to have your company. It's so lonely here in the city.
I'll talk to him.
I worry about your health out there with him.
Oh, I'm
Especially
good.
eating canned food every single night. I can't imagine that's good for you.
Oh, no, I'm really good. But thank you. I would love to rent a movie or something.
Ingrid, you hear a storm door kind of slamming from the other side of the house and like the stompings of someone knocking snow off of their shoes as it seems your father has returned. What do you want to do?
Oh, I think that's my dad. So I will...
Ingrid, are you on the phone?
It's Aunt Kristen.
Hang up on her. She's an idiot. She doesn't know anything. Please, hang up on her. You shouldn't be talking to that woman.
I know.
Get off the phone. I have to pay for that, you know.
Okay. I'll talk to you later. Have a good day. And I hang up.
And you hang up. And she's about to say, oh, is that your father? As she hears him yelling in the back, and you just click and hang the phone up on her. Your father walks in. He is, could you describe him actually for me?
He is, he's thin, but he has a lot more muscle than he lets on. He has a pretty thick beard. He has some fairly old clothes. It doesn't look like he's been shopping for new ones in at least a decade and a half. So everything is, it's dressed to last, but it's a little bit tattered, a little bit dated. He's got very, very heavy boots on. He's just like really, really wrapped up for the winter in as much as he can, but very clearly shivering anyway.
Like frost hanging off any loose threads, the beard covered in like this just icicles almost of being out in the woods for so long. He'll walk over without really looking at you or saying a word, Ingrid, and grab a kettle, fill it with some water, and throw it on top of a wood stove that's in this main room and is heating the house. And he'll kind of stand there watching it, stroking his beard and trying to warm up his hands in front of the wood fire, and he'll say to you, "Have you tended the chickens tonight?"
Oh yes, that was the last thing I did. I was just doing laundry now. Do you need help bringing any firewood in?
No, I don't. You gave them the needles, correct? There's the 3 that have botulism.
Oh,
I don't want to have to kill them. We couldn't sell that or eat it or anything like that. It would be such a waste.
No, I did that. Everything's good.
And you'll do it tomorrow morning, right?
Oh, yes.
Because I know you forget when I don't ask you.
I know, I do. But I have it.
Okay. You shouldn't be talking to your aunt.
Yes, she
doesn't know
invited
anything.
me. I know. She invited me over next weekend for the weekend, though. She wanted to rent a movie. She was actually going to come over today.
No, I don't think she should. She shouldn't make it. It's the blizzard. She wouldn't make it.
I know. She's not so good at, outdoor things, but...
No. So you're not going to go over there next weekend. You'll find an excuse.
I said I could come over for an evening. I don't know. I thought you'd be out anyway, but if you need help with things, I can find an excuse.
There's things to do at the house. I'm sure you can find something.
I'm sure. I don't know why you hate her so much. She's I don't know. I wish you two would get along.
I would like you to roll a check here.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Maybe empathize or comprehend for me.
Sure.
Whichever one of those makes more sense for you.
I would say comprehend probably makes the most sense.
Okay,
So mine is
perfect.
3 dice, but I don't have any additional skills for comprehend. So I'm gonna roll these guys. A 5, a 5, and a 2, so there are no successes. That's a failure.
Okay. You say that, and he turns and looks at you with a very sour look, and he'll say, "It is not that I don't like her. It's just that she is so cruel to me every time she sees me. Every time she comes to this house, she yells at me for the way that we live our lives out here in the woods. She tells me to move further into the city for your sake, for my sake, to be closer to family. And that's not what I want to do. I want to live here. I want to..." And he'll point at a picture on the mantelpiece that has a picture of him looking much happier with much shorter facial hair, a picture of your mother, Ingrid, and a picture of a very baby bundled up Ingrid yourself, and maybe even a picture of your aunt, and your aunt Kristen might be in one of the ones on the mantelpiece as well, much to his chagrin, right? But he'll say, "I want to honor your mother's memory and still live in the home that we built together. I do not want to just abandon it and leave it."
I know, she doesn't understand.
She doesn't understand. She doesn't know anything.
I know, but I still like going over and watching movies.
After your chores are done.
Okay,
Finish up and then go to bed. You have school in the morning.
Okay, do you need me to put some soup on?
You didn't put soup on already?
No, I was doing laundry.
Oh. And he kind of looks a bit disappointed for a second. He'll go, "Okay, put soup on. I'll go stack wood. I'll be back in before. If you finish early, you can just go to bed."
Okay, I'll go to bed. And she jumps up and grabs a can of soup and takes this janky can opener and starts getting at the thing.
And he'll
Use the
watch for
component
a
parts.
couple of seconds and just shake his head and walk back out into the cold, Ingrid. And you can put on soup for your father, finish up laundry, any of the other chores you had done, and head to bed in a quiet home. Elsewhere in town, we see a quiet home further into the city. It's neat and orderly in here, and everyone seems to be getting ready for bed. Joel, could you tell me what you're doing right before bedtime?
I think he's doing one of his favorite things, which is bothering his sister with random facts that he found in books.
No.
Absolutely.
So he's like sitting
she's-
on her bed and he's like, did you know 18 years ago, Hamburger Helper was made and like put in stores? I like Hamburger Helper.
I didn't know that, no. I'm trying to sleep. I'm trying to read, and then I'm going to go to sleep. Can you go into your own room for tonight, maybe?
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Do you think if we ask Mom tomorrow, we can have Hamburger Helper?
She'll look at you from above her book and say, I mean, maybe if there is Hamburger Helper at the store, but I don't know I don't know if she would want that. Maybe she wants something else.
Oh.
Have you thought about that? I'm sure if you ask nicely, she could get it for you, and we could have it sometime later this week. But maybe not tomorrow night. Maybe she's already made a plan, Joel.
How can people make plans so quickly? How can they already know what they want to eat tomorrow? What if people want Hamburger Helper?
This is cute.
How can she already know? Does she have magic?
Your sister puts her book down and does look a bit more, like contemplative, as if she's buying into this whole idea, Joel. And she'll go, well, she does write the books, and they are, I don't know how she does that. And she makes decisions for us, and I don't know how she does that. And she can drive the car, and I don't know how she does that. And I think that her having magic might make sense if you put all those pieces together.
Do you think I'll get magic? Do you think you have magic?
Maybe when you get your license, you get magic also.
And then I can buy Hamburger Helper.
And then you can go and buy Hamburger Helper your own and plan for when you want Hamburger Helper.
I can't plan for when I want food. I just want food.
Well, that's part of the magic when you get your license and are an adult, I think. I don't know.
Thank you, Sarah. I will let you go back to your reading and go to sleep.
Thank you very much, Joel. Have a good night. I will see you in the morning.
Okay, good night.
These accents. And Joel, you'll wander into your own room and crawl into bed. What's your bed? Is it just like a wooden bed, or is it a fun bed?
I think they recently changed out the fun bed for like a proper bed. Like I think he used to have, they called it fun. It wasn't on a wooden platform. It was like a mattress on the floor, but like they put things around it to make it look like a race car. Because like they're so far out of the way to like have something like delivered like that, or like to pick something up like that. Like they don't have a big car. So they made it look like that. And then they were like, okay, you're a big kid now. You're going to have a normal bed. And he's like, I don't.
Bed.
Okay.
Perfect. I think that you can read a little bit with your bedside lamp, your big boy lamp, until you do get a bit tired. And you can drift away to sleep. Thinking fondly about Hamburger Helper and magic when you become an adult, and how magical it must be to be able to drive cars, but you also don't want that magic to be able to plan things, because what about whimsy? Things that, a kid might dream about and think about. Next, we drift over through this intensifying blizzard. It's about 10:30 p.m. It is tensely quiet in the house. Yush. And there was just a little bit of an argument over dinner that it was quick, brief, but the aftermath is palpable in the air about whether or not your sister was allowed out for the night. Currently, your sister is locked in her room. Your mother is cleaning up after dinner, and your father is outside shoveling. What are you doing?
I am listening at my sister's door to see if she's okay.
Okay. As you are walking up to the door, you feel like a bit of a chill from underneath the crack under the door, and you hear like the whipping of wind a bit louder than it should be, as if the window in her room is cracked open a bit. Give me investigate, I think.
Okay. I'm pretty bad at this one. I have 3 mind and 0 in investigate.
Ooh, that's rough.
Yep, I got a 3, and a 1.
Okay. So you feel this coldness, and you listen for a few moments. Did you want to try to unlock the door or in some way talk to your sister?
Yeah, I was just going to try the handle, see if it's locked. So it was locked.
I meant more almost like she'd gone upstairs, slammed the door, that kind of like locked herself in her room.
I'm gonna like do a soft knock, like, hey, Sarala,
You hear a quick gasp from the other side of the door.
can I come in?
You hear a crunch from the other side of the door.
I'm gonna peek in. I'm gonna turn it if I can.
Yes.
Peek in.
Yash, you turn the handle. It opens easily and peek in, and you see your sister exiting out of her window, which is like next to her bed. The crunch which you heard was the crunch of her feet upon the snow. She has a very light puffer jacket in like bright yellow and purple on, and no hat or gloves or any winter jacket for the storm. And she looks at you dead in the eyes as you walk into her room. It smells like cigarette smoke in here. There's cool punk rock posters up on all the walls.
I love this room.
It's dope. And it's just messy as hell. And she'll look at you and say, "You didn't see me."
No. But you need a bigger coat.
I can't go downstairs and get one.
I can go get
They'll
you
yell
one.
at me. They'll yell at me again. Mom will yell
But
at me
no,
and say,
I'll
"No, you
get the
can't go
coat.
out. Can you go
I'll
get me
get
a
the
coat? Quick."
I'll get
Like
you a
Carl's
coat real
waiting
quick.
outside. He just got off work.
Charles again?
Carl, yeah.
Carl?
Yeah.
Fine.
He got some beer. We're gonna just go hang out.
Can I come?
No.
Okay. Okay, fine. I
You
turn
can't
and
come
I
with us. No, you're 14. I'm not gonna let you come.
I smoke. Why can't
I
I
don't
drink?
care if you smoke. You shouldn't be smoking.
You smoke.
I don't give a shit if I smoke. She says a
don't
bit
give a shit
quieter
if
as
I
she
smoke.
realizes your dad might be able to hear her as he's out front. You hear the scraping of a metal shovel on the pavement of your guys' driveway, and she goes, "Hurry up and go get me a coat, and I'll bring you back a pack of smokes."
2 packs. And a lighter. You stole my lighter.
Make a charm.
Okay. I'm a little bit better at this. This is still a 0 in charm, but I have 4 heart. That is 1 success.
Awesome. She like rolls her eyes big, and she goes, "Fine," and a bit too loud. She says it, and then she like looks around and she goes, "Go get me my coat, quick, okay?"
I'm zipping.
Absolutely.
I'm doing I'm going very quickly, and then as soon as I'm at the door, I'm like very silent.
Yes, like creeping down. Tell me about what your like the main part of your house looks like.
It is. I think we have like gotten really into like the modern convenience type of stuff, and so like my parents came here to work on the loop and things like that.
Yeah.
And so there's a little bit of gadgetry and stuff like that. I think a lot of clocks,
Yeah.
like both digital, analog, and cuckoo, are throughout the house.
Yes.
But like it's very warm colors and a big fireplace with a brick chimney in the main living area, which is right across where the hook rack or the coat rack is.
Yes. I'm imagining it like there's like the living room, and then right next to it the dining room, and then the kitchen through a little doorway with like one of those like entryway or like almost like serving windows. And
Yes.
so I'm also going to require from you sneak to make it and grab that coat without either your father coming in at the wrong time or your mom just turning around to see what you're doing.
I'm really fucking good at sneaking, y'all.
How
Excellent.
many dice are you gonna roll?
So I have a 5 in body,
Holy shit.
and a 2 in sneak. So
Holy
that's 7
Oh boy.
Come on, get a success, please.
I'm so unlucky if they don't.
I'm sorry, Nathan had to take all my rolls because I didn't have to do one.
You were just so peaceful.
Yeah,
and
you
chill.
do not want these rolls because out of 7 dice, I did not get a single success.
Oh,
my
no.
gosh.
That's bad.
Yeah, the Yahtzee dice are kind of fucking me now.
Would you like to perchance push or use luck or your check your pride?
My pride would not help me. However, you know what? I'll burn my luck early.
Oh my god.
I only have 1 luck because I'm 14.
14. Okay.
Make it count.
So that means I can reroll all of these, right? Because none of them
Yes.
succeeded.
You reroll all failures.
Gotcha. Which,
So all of them.
Yeah,
Yep.
all of them.
jeez.
Oh no.
Okay. 1 second. Oh fuck! I can't put them all in a hand.
You should have got the Yahtzee cup.
yeah.
If we take a break, remind me to grab it. one success out of
Excellent.
7 dice.
What?
Nice.
Oh my god.
This is a great sign.
The
Oh
house
no.
creaks as you walk down the stairs, Yash. And like you think for like your mom sneezes and you just stop in your tracks as you're reaching out for your sister's jacket. And then you're like, oh my God, this is it. My mom's going to turn around and look at me. And then she just goes back to scrubbing. You hear her click on the radio and make some white noise to cover up your sounds. You quickly grab the jacket and turn around. And right at that moment, you hear the door crack. And you're like, oh my God, I've got caught again. But your dad has just opened the door to be like, could you pass me the gloves? My hands are getting a bit cold out here.
Yes, sir.
And you
I pass
just
him the
toss them
gloves.
through the crack. He hasn't even looked inside. You're getting so lucky right now. And you just like bundle up your sister's jacket and scuttle quietly back up the stairs, creep into her room, and then rush over to the window and where she's waiting. She's shivering already in like the 30 seconds she's waited, and will snatch the jacket out from your hands. And she'll go, there's a pack of smokes in my bed drawer, the second one down on the right, like underneath all of my like shirts and stuff. You can have that one. I'll bring you back another one, and I'll find a lighter for you somewhere.
A nice one.
Sure. A nice one. Deal.
I'm gonna like once she, or actually I'm gonna say, love you.
She'll look at you and be like, yeah, love you too. And like crunch, crunch, crunch. It's like not all there,
Yeah.
right? Like it's not completely like heartfelt in the ways that it always was, right? Things have just been different, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Yash is like visibly upset, but like
Yeah.
he closes the window and then he actually sets pillows in the bed to make it look like she's curled up and like tucked in bed before grabbing the cigarettes and heading
Absolutely.
out.
Yeah, you watch for 2 seconds as she like says, "Yeah, love you too," and like scuttles down like and like drops into a big snowbank and doesn't get hurt or anything, and like runs very quickly to a big red janky looking truck that's sitting like at the end of the block and like hops in the passenger seat. You close the window, kind of like upset but still covering for your sister. Put those pillows in and then grab the smokes and like close her door, and can at some point go to bed.
Yeah, I do angry like shadow boxing in my room.
Yep. What does your room look like?
Messy as all hell. Oh
Hell
god,
yeah.
it has like it's very clear that like my parents stopped like coming in and like trying to check on it, like outside of like spring cleaning maybe. But it is messy. You can't tell, but one pile of clothes on the floor is clean and one pile is dirty, and that pile changes from day to day. I can't remember which one. But like it also has like writing on the walls, like little Sharpie graffiti. Like the cool S is everywhere.
Did the cool ass exist in the 80s?
It did. I checked.
did?
It
Okay, sick.
began in like the 70s.
Is there a pizza box that is just like
Yes, there is a pizza box, and then if you look on like the inside of my closet door, you can see all of my previous cigarette boxes have been
Yes.
like tacked up there, almost
Hell
like
yeah.
those weirdos who keep whiskey bottles.
Yep.
Damn.
Yep. Little weird trophy of how much you've hurt yourself.
It's like
and-
3. I'm 14. I've only started recently.
Yeah. You're getting
But
2 packs of smokes, and that'll last you like 3 months.
Yep.
And so you can shadowbox angrily, push some clothes around on the floor, push the dirty clothes, clean clothes, you're not really sure, off of your bed onto the floor, and like jump into bed, and it like creaks loudly beneath you, and head off to bed because you do have school tomorrow.
Fuck school.
Yeah, right. And outside, we see that blizzard rage into the wee hours of the morning when it slowly attenuates. The snow was probably like 35 centimeters of snow, a quite significant amount, and has just blanketed everything. We see bright orange Rix Energy company vehicles leaving people's driveways and headed north on the highway and service roads off to work. And we zoom in on a small little house near the woods where it's early in the morning, Lars. And what would you like to be doing before school starts? Your grandma has not yet woken up. You are ostensibly the master of your own domain.
I think what I'll do is I'll prepare a knapsack with everything that I need.
Okay.
I'll get myself like my lunch together, which isn't much because We don't really have much in the pantry, so I'll probably just make myself like a tuna sandwich or something.
Absolutely.
Got to get my binoculars in there, so I'll make sure that those have room.
They have like this very nice leather case that they initially came in, and then I think, did you modify them to look like owl's eyes? Is that
Yes, I
proper?
did.
Okay, and so they bulge in this weird way at the sides where the case was not built to accommodate those swooping owl kind of like features. But it looks so cool that you can't just like they wouldn't be the same without it, right? What else goes in the backpack? The knapsack.
Definitely my notebooks, a few pencils, maybe a pen, an encyclopedia on birds.
Yeah, like this big old birding guide that your grandmother got you for like your birthday last year. It's like from the 30s though, so it's kind of out of date, but it has like 800 more birds than any other birding guide you've ever had. So it's like weirdly out of date and like missing information, but has way more information than most of the other things you can get your hands on. Semi-accurate, big repository of birds. So you can get all of this stuff ready and done. And you hear a bunch of traffic outside, honking of horns as people are driving north to work. Your small cottage that you live with your grandmother in kind of has this larger overlook over the island, as it were, a bit above the trees are a bit pushed back. And so you can stand in the kitchen looking out the window on this cool winter morning and see that there's just a bunch of beautiful blackbirds dotting the trees outside of your house, all kind of like enjoying the morning air as well.
Lovely.
At least for a few moments. And then you hear a very rhythmic, fast-paced whirring noise coming from the distance, and you see all those birds just get up and leave. You recognize them as the sounds of a magnetrine freighter. You can see it off in the horizon, this what looks like a giant mix between a train and a boat, almost like a cargo ship floating slowly through the air a few kilometers north of the island that you live on. It just seems that the magnetic field is annoying all the birds and disrupting them.
Kind of makes me a little sad.
Yeah.
Also, I'm scared of that.
Absolutely. Yeah. You also, at the same moment, those birds like almost pick up and leave, like get out of here because they feel that something's wrong. You yourself, your stomach just starts to turn over a little bit as you do that. And you can pack your knapsack, head outside, and get on your bike and get into school start heading to school if you'd like.
Making my way.
Yeah, making your way downtown. It's downhill mostly to school, which is nice in the morning and terrible at night.
Yep.
On your way, you see big hockey rinks where there's a bunch of like people that are a couple years older than you doing like their morning hockey practice. There's just regular folks going out for a stroll in the morning. And there's also just folks that don't have jobs driving around. And you pass a little kiosk where an old man is like pushing magazines. He has his radio on like full blast. And so as you ride by Lars, you can hear the radio that just says, "We advise staying off the roads today as icy conditions have made it unsafe for vehicle transport. Please stay inside if you do not have to commute for work." And that's pretty much all you hear as you zoom on by. I think that as you get into town, Lars, and please correct me if this is not something you'd be interested in, but there is a program which plays every morning. I don't imagine you and your grandmother have a television, although there's one of those stores that sells televisions in town, and they do the thing where they put all the televisions in the front window and play like the news in the morning, so you could stop by and like watch that for a second. And every morning at about 7 a.m., there's this wonderful thing that gets played on the right before the newscast actually starts, which is called Felix the Osprey, which is a wonderful little not infomercial, but like a little PSA series that gets put out every single morning, which is fun. It's just this big, like 6-foot-tall osprey, person in an osprey costume, really, who like puts on a voice and does a little PSA about being safe in nature. And you've learned quite a bit from it over the years. Is that something you'd be interested in stopping and watching today?
Yeah, I would say like for my daily ritual, I always make sure that I have time to stop and like watch whatever little is there.
Yes. So you roll up today. What is the name of this like audio video store?
That's a good question.
Everyone feel free to throw something out if you have an idea.
The smaller silver screen.
Smaller
silver screen.
Ooh, I like that.
That's good. That's cute.
Okay. You stop outside the smaller silver screen, skidding a little bit on the icy roads outside, and sit on the side, like stand on the sidewalk, watching through the frosty glass. And Lars, strangely, Felix the Osprey does not walk onto frame. The little intro animation plays and like that fun plonky music plays, the indications of wonderful things to come. But some schmuck walks on and he goes, good morning, everyone. My name is Bjorn. I, with big sadness, have to tell you about how Felix was feeling a bit under the weather today. The blizzard kept him from getting home in time last night, and so he has a bit of a sniffle and couldn't make it in today. I'm here to tell you, however, that the drinking water, contrary to what the press has been saying, is perfectly safe to drink and to do so. And make sure to stop by your local outdoor store to pick up a water purifier if you're going for any hikes in the woods, or iodine tablets if that is more your fancy. Thank you very much, everyone, and tune in tomorrow for when Felix is feeling much, much better. And then the like animation plays again, Lars, and then it's just a black screen for a while, or like that staticky, like no programming. Normally, the Felix the Osprey section is like 5 minutes long and is quite entertaining. This was a letdown.
I almost feel like disturbed a little bit. Like this my morning ritual has been violated by whatever this has like taken place.
Did you want to, there's a couple like people, adults walking by and like other kids commuting to school. Did you want to say anything to anyone, or are you just kind of like looking around uncomfortably?
I'm just kind of looking around uncomfortably for a little bit.
Okay, wonderful. So you look around uncomfortably for a little while before deciding to just carry on, you guess. You watch the screen for a bit, hoping that it was just a joke maybe, but eventually like it doesn't come on. And then after probably 3 minutes, the news program starts and there's no Felix today. So weird. So weird. And so you can scoot off towards school. Finally, we come to a large residence in town. It's on one of the nicer streets. The snowplow has already come through 3 times through the night and this morning. So the pavement is pristine with large tar patches where it's been torn up winter after winter, but been repaired because these are the nice houses and these people deserve nice roads to drive on. Inside, we hear music blaring from a small radio in a teenage girl's bedroom as she tries on a bunch of different outfits in the morning. Emmy, tell us what clothes you're trying on and what your current predicament and general, what's the situation here? Just let us in on it.
I think the biggest worry that Emmy has right now is the amount of snow on the ground. So the night before, she prepared something that is more for like cold weather, but not a lot of snow. So like skirt and maybe like some knee-high socks and something like that. But then now she's like, oh, but then I have to wear pants. I really don't want to wear pants right now. It's very uncomfortable. And it wouldn't match the new boots that my mom got me the day before. So I'm sort of freaking out. So I'm just
Okay.
like trying on different clothes.
You're freaking out. On a very nice radio, the radio station is playing beautifully. This is in perfect contrast to Ingrid's situation last night, where her radio was like cutting out with the blizzard and just being so far out of town. Your fancy radio, there's no like weird modifications you or anyone in your family has made to it. It's brand new, like a week old from the store. It's playing beautifully. What music is playing on it?
I Want to Dance with Somebody by Whitney
Okay.
Houston.
Perfect. So you're kind of like dancing to this music, trying on different outfits, and then cutting through your relaxation in the morning, a knock at the door, and you hear your father's voice that says, Emmy, we're going to be late for work. Your mother and I, we have to leave, and you have to leave already too.
Yes, Dad. I'm just getting dressed. Don't worry.
I know, but you have 10 minutes until school starts. You should be leaving right now.
Yes.
He sounds urgent.
Can Lola drive me?
No, your Lolo already took the car to the curling club. You know this. Every single Wednesday he goes and curls, right? And he'll like open the door now and like peek in and say, we bought you a bike just for this reason. I know it snowed out last night, but it's only down the block. You really need to get going. You can't be late, okay? It's important. And he's like kind of looking at his watch. He's not even looking directly at you. And he's like, it's very important that you just like show up. And it's not nice to get calls about you not getting to classes on time, right? So could you just please, for me and your mother, we're paying a lot of money for you to like go to school here, and so please, Emmy.
So I'm going to like quickly grab a jacket from under my bed and look at myself in the not the window, in front of the mirror, and sort of check myself out and be like, okay, I'm ready to go. And I'm going to grab my backpack and start going downstairs. After turning off my my radio, please.
Absolutely. You turn off the radio and pick up a fancy Walkman from your table and clip it onto like your belt or something, and then head down the stairs after your father. He's like a tall-ish, old middle-aged Filipino man. He has like a comb over. He's very, especially going down the stairs behind him, he's very clearly balding, but not ready to admit that in his life. Supreme comb over, very thinned out hair, very big bushy mustache as well. And he like kind of thumps down the stairs. He's wearing a bright orange Rick's Energy jacket, and so is your mother, who's standing by the door. She looks to be dressed in business attire and looks incredibly stressed that they have not left the house yet. And as soon as your father gets down the stairs, she doesn't look at you and she goes, "Oh, we're ready to go." And she'll walk out the front door and like get in the company car. And your father will turn to you and say, "Just straight to school, okay, please, Emmy? We love you very much. We'll see you later tonight. Bye." And he'll walk out the door. It doesn't give you a kiss, doesn't say anything else.
Yeah, like I didn't even like I probably got cut off like as soon as I was about to reply like "I love you," and then the door is shut down.
Door slammed. And you hear them like peel out of the driveway and like speed out of the neighborhood trying to get to work in time, which they very much will not. And you can putt around for a few moments, grab a pre-made egg salad sandwich from the counter, and walk outside into the cold air and begin pedaling to school, Emmy. So, the five of you, through a combination of walking, biking, however means you want to get, through whatever means you want to get to school today on this icy day, you can arrive. One note to make before that is, Yash, are you going to check if your sister's home?
Yes, I'm going to see if she brought my cigarettes and lighter.
Okay. You poke into her room right before you head off to school, already like a couple minutes late for when you should have left.
Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. Not a big deal. What's clocks? That's the reason your parents put so many clocks up, is because their two children are notoriously late for everything. So they thought just having it visible everywhere would help that. Absolutely hasn't. It has just actually reinforced that you don't need to leave before anywhere, because who cares?
Yeah, now time is just part of the scenery.
Yeah. You open the door. The window's shut. There's the form of a person sleeping in the bed. Nothing else in the room has changed, though.
Sarala, you have to get up.
You walk over to the bed and like pull back the covers and see the pillows which you put there last night.
I've played myself. No, I think I'm actually going to be angry about this and like
Awesome.
take one of the pillows and just throw it against her own closet door.
Absolutely. You
Like,
hear the
probably
hinge.
not going to cause any damage, but
Yeah, you hear the hinge creak, but it doesn't cause permanent damage. If it was something heavier, it would have, though.
I think about that. I look at her stereo. I decide against it,
Okay.
but then I rush off to school.
Awesome. So tell me, what do you all do upon arriving at school? Do you like just go park your bikes and then immediately get to class? What is the situation? Do you all want to meet up in some manner? Tell me about it.
I go directly to my locker
Okay.
and just like put my books down there and stuff like that
Okay.
and leave the things that I should not have in the room. And if anyone wants to talk to me, they can't talk to me directly. They have to pretend that they're looking at the lockers beside me and speak to me that way.
Okay.
I think Ingrid like has like a big backpack on, and so when she parks her bike, which
Like
is
a
like
big external frame backpacking backpack, like the one you would take on
yes,
like a multi.
absolutely. Like, it's one of
Oh
those
my
like
God.
20-liter
Yeah.
things. And so her bike is like, it's very clearly been like fixed up and modified a bunch of times. It looks like 8 different bikes Frankenstein together out of very old
Amazing.
parts.
Jesus.
Yes.
So she's going to like chain that up with like a heavy padlock, not even a fucking bike lock, like just a big padlock, and like reach into her backpack and pull out her little homemade remote controlled car. And she's going to be like just staring at the controller as she walks into the building, like just having it like go right next to her like a little pet as she heads in.
Perfect.
I think Joel and Sierra, like, they both have bikes, and what they did was she rides in front and kind of creates a path that
Yeah,
because he's
through
not
the
as good
snow.
as riding his bike as her,
Yeah.
and plus he's carrying the an encyclopedia in his bag, but it's like a one-armed bag, so like the balance is messed up as well.
Yeah.
And like the second they get to school, she's like, okay, bye. And
yes,
then
she
he
just goes off. She parks the bike, goes off to her own friends. It's like, bye. If something comes up during the day, please come find me. But I'll see you today after school.
okay, bye.
And she just turns and leaves you.
And I think he looks for one of his friends.
Absolutely. You see Ingrid staring at her little RC controller and like this little RC car next to her just plodding along on the ice and snow. So you can go and follow and talk to her if you'd like.
Do you know the day before what you want to eat for supper the next day?
Oh, well, yes, because we usually only keep one kind of soup in the house, so it's very easy. Why?
Do you know how to drive?
Does this count? And I just like point with my elbow toward my little car.
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
I'm
why?
happy to say you have magic
What do you mean?
because you know when to eat food and you can drive.
I don't think that's magic.
Then what is it?
It's just being a person.
My mom is a person.
That 10 is a very young age to realize that. What a grown up decision. Like, what
a mature
grown-up
observation.
revelation.
God,
I know.
yeah.
Joel's growing up before our eyes. What, Lars, did you get here early by chance? Because you definitely
Yes.
left earlier than everyone else.
I arrived early, and when I arrive early, I always get my stuff in my locker and immediately go to class early and just
Okay.
sit in the desk.
Yep.
And just
yep,
read.
Yep. Perfect.
Because it's easier for me to meet up with everybody after class.
Absolutely. You rush into your class. First class of the day is physics, obviously. And which just gets a ton of emphasis here at school. Like all the sciences at your guys' school just get a ton of emphasis. The language arts fall by the wayside. Phys ed falls a lot by the wayside.
Thank God.
Home ec and stuff like that, not super common. It's just really strong scientific curriculum. And so, Lars, you rush very quickly to your physics class, take a seat. Do you sit in the front seat?
No.
Front row? Back row? Protagonist seat?
No. So it would be in the second furthest back row
Okay.
next to the window.
Okay, perfect.
Almost
perfect.
protagonist.
That is the protagonist.
that is the
Al-
protagonist.
almost
That's
almost
protagonist.
protagonist.
Anime
the
protagonist.
Okay,
And then the
well,
protagonist's best friend sits
How
right behind
about
them.
second front row by the window?
Okay.
Oh, that's like anime asshole seat.
Perfect.
I can't win.
So you're sitting there.
Tanaka,
No,
is that
technically, in My Hero Academia, that's where Midoriya sits. So that is technically the
Still
protagonist here as
Anime
well.
protagonist.
Holy
So
shit.
You can't
Lars,
escape it.
you run into that class. No one else is here yet. The teacher's not here yet. You sit down at your desk and like are just kind of like daydreaming, looking out the windows, watching the hallways, very on high alert, I think is a good way to say it. You see Emmy walk by and go to her locker beyond. You see Ingrid and Joel walk past the thing. You also see, and might avert your eyes when you do see him, a 6'3" ninth grader. You know him to be Diedrich Carlson. He's on the hockey team. He's the captain of the hockey team, in fact, Lars. And it's best to avoid him because he will bully you until the cows come home.
And there are no cows here.
And there are no cows. There is no escape. Only the bell will stop him. Only a teacher
Only
seeing it will
chickens.
stop him. And so you've learned to just get to class as quick as possible so that he can't just ridicule you in the halls or out front of...
No free shots
out front
here.
yeah, no free shots. Don't give them the opportunity. And Yash, you arrive a bit late. Please tell me
Yeah.
the state of your arrival. Thank you.
I am not in any big rush
Yeah.
at all. Like, I get there, my bike is like red, but it's obviously like, been beat up a little bit. I don't have the most care for it. Like, I have drawn all over it,
Hell yeah.
including like writing my name just on the seat, and thinking that's enough. No one's gonna try to steal my shit, and just leaving it in the bike rack.
Yes.
And the very first thing I do, it's like routine. I just head straight to the front office to get a tardy slip.
Yep. The like secretary there looks at you. She has this tired look about her. She's this old Swedish woman with a very wrinkled face, just like completely like the cold has like seeped into her entire expression and facade, and she'll just sigh and shake her head and pull a small yellow slip up writing your name and that you're 15 minutes late, and then push it over across the desk to you and say, please sign it, and then head on to class.
I think I'm gonna start wallpapering my house with these.
I'm sure your parents would appreciate it if you came to school early. I'm sure your teachers would appreciate it too.
I'm sure your ass would appreciate it if your head got out of it, but
Okay,
Oh
get on to
my
class,
God.
please, before I have to give you something else, okay?
okay. Turn around and walk away.
Jesus.
She takes the
Damn.
she takes the carbon copy of the slip and just looks angry as she files it away. She like she
That's 'cause
opens a filing
I did
cabinet.
the S in my signature as the cool S as well.
Perfect.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
God.
It's the S.
She looks at it, shakes her head vigorously, takes a big sip of her tea, opens a filing cabinet in which we see like 7 files. 2 of them are just for you, and puts it in there, along with your hundreds of other late slips. And you can, in no big rush, head along to class. Maybe stop in the bathroom for a couple minutes beforehand to like graffiti on the like stalls.
Yeah, cool S's everywhere.
Cool
Are you
S's
kidding me?
everywhere. So, and then head off to, unfortunately, physics class.
The dreaded physics class.
Right before class starts, Ingrid, you can head off to class. Joel, you as well. Yash is not here yet, and Lars has already submerged himself into the desk, essentially, as best as he can, hiding away, making himself invisible.
Dive.
Emmy, you are standing at your locker, having the air of like, someone talk to me. I'm popular. Just like this presence about yourself. Tons of people walk by and go like, hi, Emmy. Morning, Emmy. Hi, Emmy. How are you, Emmy? Great fit, Emmy. And all these types of things. Oh, you look rad today. As they walk by and wearing a big red backpack, stinking with an earthy smell a little bit from hockey practice this morning. A 6'3" figure with a cool mullet and just the beginnings of a beard. Emmy, you know this as well to be Diedrich Carlson. He'll lean on the locker next to yours, arm raised a little bit, and he'll go, how are you this morning? And give the best smile as possible. He's missing 3 teeth.
Oh.
I'm doing great.
You didn't come by, and he'll readjust his posture and say, "You didn't come by the arena the rink this morning. We were having practice. I thought you said the other night that when we were talking on the phone that you'd come by every now and again and cheer for us even during practice, not just during the games."
Yes, I did say that, but
I mean, Erica Anderson from comes by and cheers for us even during practices.
Well, I had sort of like a problem this morning. I could not find a really good outfit because of the there's lots of snow right now, and the clothes that I had planned out the day before, it just does not work out. And I really
of course.
Yeah, and Erica does not have anything in her life.
Totally.
So you really shouldn't compare me to her.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely. Actually, make a charm roll, please, Emmy.
Charm roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
For how cold it is outside, there is zero chill in this school.
Fuck yeah.
That's 8 die for me.
Oh my god. Okay. Get a
Hell
success.
shit.
Come on, get a success.
That is 3 6s.
Ooh, 3
Whoa.
6s. So 3 successes. So
Yes.
that's a definite success. Did you want to buy any bonus effects?
And I can only use it for the charm, right? Because that's what I
Charm
rolled
heart.
for.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think
Yeah.
I'll take the one where he's infatuated
Oh boy.
Damn.
Hearts for eyes.
and he will always believe me because this one I will convince him that
Yeah,
she sucks.
she
so
sucks.
the second bonus is he will keep believing me that Erica
That
sucks.
Erica has nothing going on in her life.
Wow.
He'll go, yeah, I mean, you are great, and she is kind of a loser, so I guess that makes sense. She's a bit too, she's a bit of a try-hard, always cheering a bit too loud. You know how it is.
I know.
Not like you, and
Honestly,
he'll,
I think she's just
yeah,
trying to
yeah,
grab
yeah.
people's attention.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Right?
I always do it so effortlessly. So
Oh, of course.
Anyways, I have to get to class.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
I mean,
could
what else could I be doing right now?
We could skip class if you wanted. I mean, it's just physics class. What's that ever done for anyone?
My dad was already mad at me this morning, but I also really want to buy a magazine because they're out
Well,
right now.
if you wanted, I could go buy you a magazine and I could give it to you at lunch if you wanted. And you
Okay,
could just go to class so your father doesn't get mad at you.
Okay, can you buy me the new Frida magazine?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, do you want me to give you the money right now, or will you pay
No,
that?
I can pay for it. Don't worry about it. I have a summer job. I have savings. No big deal. And he shrugs a little bit, rolls his shoulders, kind of does a bit of a flex, showing off in front of Emmy, and goes, "So I'll see you at lunch with a magazine then. Have a good time in school, Emmy." And he'll do a very, very bad wink at you before walking
How
off.
can you do a bad wink?
He's just like,
You bully me for doing bad winks constantly. You know what a bad wink
Yeah,
is.
but the audience doesn't know that, of course.
very slow, and he
Don't
goes,
worry, I'll take care of it.
He tries to wink,
not
but the other eye
charming.
also starts closing, and so he has to
it just looks like
reassign
he-
himself.
Yeah, it just looks like he's blinking at you, Emmy. And he'll not run off, but he'll walk coolly out of the school. No one stops him. He walks by you, Yush, on your way in. On his way out, he looks at you and goes,
I shoulder check him.
"Oh, you shoulder check
Ooh.
him." He turns and looks at you and goes, "Hey, watch it."
You watch it.
Okay.
Is that all
Okay.
you're going to say? Watch it?
We're in school right now. I don't want to pick a fight with you. I'll have to sit out of the hockey game this weekend. Unlike you, I have things to lose. And he turns around and walks out the front doors.
Damn.
God.
The burns are just flying left and right like there's an oil fire.
Yeah, no, there is very much just like this, ooh, I just got
Yeah.
owned and I know it. Look,
Awesome.
I angrily open the door and slam it back.
Jesus.
Perfect. And so everyone can head off to classes. Physics goes by and it is boring. You learn about magnets. Well, most of you learn about magnets. Some of you learn about velocity. You, Joel, are learning about velocity at 10 years old because that is more up your alley. It's lame and stinky, and who likes it?
I just have like my encyclopedia under the thing, and I'm just kind of like,
Yes.
it's like because it's like the newest edition. It's like 1987. Like I'm just gonna like going through it.
You're really hoping for like Christmas this year. Your mom gets you like the 1988 version that came out like a couple weeks ago, but you can't count on it. But you really hope so, right? And so like all your science classes in the morning can pass, and then you can go to like your English classes, and then carry on before it is lunchtime. Diedrich does meet back up with you, Emmy, and get you that magazine and sits with you and eats lunch with you and all your popular friends. Before we just scoot along to the end of the day, is there any scenes anyone wanted throughout the day, either at lunch or sometime during the afternoon?
I think just following my conversation that morning.
Yeah.
If I think I just see Sierra at one point at lunch, and I just quickly stop next to her and I say, I have bad news. Mom doesn't have magic.
Who told you that?
Oh, my friend.
Your friend told you that, and your friend knows that adults don't have magic, for sure?
Well,
did they read it in a book?
Well, it's not in a book, but she can drive, and she also knows what she wants to eat the next day.
Friends? Why do you have friends who can drive? You shouldn't be hanging around with such a. You should. You're only 10 years old. You should not be hanging around with adults.
Well, it's
That's dangerous.
It's not a big car like Mom. It's a I'm not quite sure how it works, but it moves. But
I think
it's tiny.
Are you talking about Ingrid?
Yeah, the little. She has a small car.
You're friends with her?
Well, yeah. So we talk sometimes in school.
Your sister has like a kind of worried look on her face for you, and she'll go, "Oh, okay. Well,
she's really nice."
Oh, I'm sure she is. Yes. She's in my classes, and so we've spoken a few times. Yes, I'm sure she's very nice, Joel.
So, that was the big thing. Mom doesn't have magic.
Okay.
But she's a person.
Yes, she's a person. We're all people. Everyone's a person.
Even animals?
No, I don't think animals are people. Because people are people and people are not animals.
Oh.
This 12-year-old says to you.
And he's like, okay. Like, because like he'll believe everything that his
Yeah,
very
absolutely.
philosophical for a 12-year-old.
Yes.
Cool. I'm a mom.
I don't think that is correct, but yes. No. I don't know. I haven't gotten to that unit we haven't done that yet. That starts next year for me.
Cool. So next year we will have more answers. I will let you go back to your lunch.
Thank you very much. I hope you have a good lunch as well, Joel. And have fun talking to your friends, but please take what they say with a grain of salt because some of them live in the woods and do not really know what is happening. You know?
Okay. And he hugs her.
Oh, you hug your sister. She looks at you worriedly and is like about to say something else, a bit meaner, and then you hug her and she decides not to. And then you can walk off in reading your book, sitting at a table. Did anyone else have any scenes for the day that they wanted to get to?
I want to sit next to Ingrid and Joel when Joel comes back.
Okay, absolutely. You're sitting. Let's stop. What does this school look like? I'm imagining a little brick schoolhouse like that has a bunch of little classrooms. There's all obviously like common hallways with lockers in them, but what else is here?
In the cafeteria? Is the table situation a lot like a few long tables that are just like stretch the whole room? Or is it like a few like circle tables like that are scattered throughout?
Yeah.
The cool kids get the circle tables.
I feel like a lot of people sit on the floor.
Ooh, I think that makes a lot of sense as well, Sarah. Of like, there's a lot of kids here, and like the school is old and doesn't have a very big cafeteria. So like, there's these longer tables that are older that kind of like the not super cool kids get, but like not the weird kids get. And then, like, they don't all sit next to each other. It's not like a crowded situation. But then there's these round, newer tables that are, like, fancy. They have, like, a linoleum surface on them. They're super fancy. And, like, have these very comfortable, like, plastic molded chairs. Like, oh, my God, the fanciest technology.
I've already, marked one as mine. Like, carved my name into the seat, like... It literally has my name on it.
Absolutely. The front and back, top and bottom. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Any way you look at it, you see my name.
Absolutely. So that one gets like left alone because people do not want to get in a fight with you. But most of the other tables, those circle tables, are taken by like the really popular kids, including Emmy and like Diedrich and like all the popular girls that sit with Emmy, and like a couple of the other like jock dudes that hang out with Diedrich. Like the other like hockey team guy bros, like a couple cross country runners, and then off in the corner, sitting on the ground, is like the outcast kids, including like Lars and Ingrid if you're here for lunch, and Joel. And Yash, you can pull your chair over and just sit on your chair next to all these other fools who don't have proper seating apparatus.
I'll just look at them and I'll say, the offer still stands if you want to use the table. All you have to do is pay a little tribute to me, and I'll let you sit there. One French fry.
I don't get packed French fries, unfortunately. But if you wanted, I have a carrot stick. They're good for your eyes.
I brought my own lunch, just tuna sandwich, so I don't have anything to give.
I take the carrot stick and I say, it doesn't get you a seat at the table, but you're safe. And I put it in my mouth like it's a cigarette.
Like a cigarette.
I am happy for your eyesight.
I start sweating at hearing the word safe.
Yep. Ingrid, are you?
Very
Ingrid
pointedly
quietly
looks
munches
at you.
on her apple. I think that normally Ingrid would be in Mr. Nicholas's classroom, who
Yeah.
is her favorite teacher.
Yes,
but
yes.
I think that today she might be in the lunchroom with the other kids, just because.
Is there a reason
I know,
for
Ben,
that?
you wanted to do a scene.
Ben wanted to do a scene, so
Yeah.
Ingrid's here. Okay, Ben, what specifically did you want from this scene, friend?
So I want to basically discuss what happened earlier, where my favorite program
Yeah.
disappeared.
Okay. Go ahead.
So I know I usually talk about usually what I see on that show, Felix the Osprey, or the little program before the news.
Yes, they're quite practical tips.
Yeah.
Yes, that are very annoying.
So something weird happened.
Did he say something wrong?
It's a talking osprey.
Was the fact not factual?
He didn't show up. Some strange man came on instead and said that he was sick because of the blizzard. And
The snow doesn't make people sick, unless you have hypothermia. But that's very different.
Does
and I
he
don't
have
know why he would go
hypothermia?
outside if he knows how to survive. That's very stupid.
I don't think birds can get hypothermia.
I mean,
Wait, is an osprey a bird?
yeah, an osprey is a kind of bird.
All right, gotcha.
I
I can
guess
give you some bird facts right here, Lars, if you want to be a bird nerd. Around the Malloran Islands, ospreys are incredibly prevalent and it's one of their largest nesting areas in the entire world, and so they're like
Never mind,
super
I know what an
iconic.
osprey is. They've
There we
been
go.
around me since I've been here. What am I talking about?
Now, I don't know about an osprey catching hypothermia, but the man also was talking about how, the water, it's very safe.
No, it isn't.
Whenever me and my sister get water or we're playing outside and we bring something in because we want to like mess with it, Mom has us boil it first because she says the water is not clean.
It's not. You need to boil it or you can get very sick. I
Maybe
didn't boil
that's
it one
why-
time. I had stomach pain for a week.
Maybe that's why the osprey was sick. Did he drink the water?
I don't
What
know,
did-
but
Why would he drink the water? He knows how to survive in the wilderness.
But this is
not
the first
stupid.
time we've heard this lesson before. Maybe he had to test it to see if it was safe and then got sick. And so they had to bring in a suit person to say that, oh no, he drank the water. He wasn't, don't drink that water. It has to be safer.
Who
But
was
then why-
replacing him?
Lars, the little header on the Felix the Osprey thing said Bjorn. Nothing else.
the name that I caught was Bjorn.
Does that name mean anything to any of us?
Bjorn's a very common name around. A lot of people
That's
named
fair.
Bjorn.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Did he have a last
I
name?
know.
It wasn't posted at the very least.
The name was the only name that we got, or that I got, was Bjorn.
Bjorn Larson?
My mom's editor is named Bjorn. Was he the one?
Bjorn Len?
I don't
Bjorn
know.
Carlson.
Everyone starts listing every Bjorn they know. You guys sit here for all 30 minutes of lunch period.
There's also the Bjorn from the corner store. He has
Bjorn
that
Bjornsson.
cat. Yeah, he has the cat that has the messed up ear, but if you pet
Yes.
the cat long enough, you get a lollipop.
Really?
Yeah.
And this was a local TV station, right? Or-
Yes. So like there's two programs from like the state kind of. There's two channels, right? And so
Gotcha.
one of them's like the state channel, and one of them is your local like Malaran Islands channel. And so like there's a local little media production studio where Felix the Osprey gets filmed live every morning and stuff
That's
like
in
that.
town?
That's in town, yeah.
Listen, we can just go to the studio after, school, ask about it,
We can get a
'Cause-
get better basket ready.
Well, I also have to be home to make dinner as well.
Why don't we leave early?
They can make their own dinner.
I don't know.
They shouldn't be giving bad advice to people. If you get sick, you can die very easily in the wilderness.
I look at my cup of water now, suspicious of it.
Yes.
How do I know if the cafeteria boiled this?
I guess we don't.
Is there a pot boiling?
Yes, but that's because of all of the soup.
Oh.
I always bring a canteen.
Over at the popular table.
Oh
Emmy,
boy.
what are you and the others talking about?
I think we are talking about gossip about celebrities. At this point in time, I do not really know like what's happening in December 1988.
1988.
But I guess
I wasn't alive.
Donna, Kylie Minogue.
It's an alternate history. There's an alternate celebrity stuff going on.
Yeah, you guys can talk about stuff. The hockey guys keep trying to talk about hockey things, and which you don't watch hockey.
Around when would be the like the Winter Olympics?
Ooh.
Because I believe
that's
1988 is Calgary.
88 is Calgary, yeah.
It would have been. It was like in February-ish in Calgary, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, so maybe they're like they're like
February.
yelling at each other like about the hockey that has happened multiple months ago.
Who won gold in hockey in 1988? This is very important to my characterization of Diedrich. It has to be Canada or Sweden.
It better be. It's gotta be.
Or
Let's see.
like
USA.
the Soviets.
USA.
No way. Get the fuck out of here.
USA.
Finnish ski jumper. Okay, the men's ice hockey, it was the Soviet Union.
Oh, of
7th gold
course.
medal.
7th.
Silver
Holy
medal
shit.
was Finland. Who was
Oh.
bronze? Who was bronze? Let's see here.
This is
Sweden won bronze.
Hey,
Oh,
okay.
damn, there you go.
Bronze. All right. So you're talking about like celebrity things. The guys are having like their own private like little conversation about like, well, I think this player, I think that Bjorn is the best hockey player because
God.
like do you not remember like during the Olympics like I mean like they had like I think he like stopped like 47 goals and like I know they got bronze and like they're just chittering to themselves over
There's no Bjorn, but there's 4 Larses and a bow.
Lars's. There's probably like Lundqvist also and stuff like that. Yep, Lundqvist. Okay, then they'll say that because Lundqvist is a goalie. Diedrich will be like, I mean, like Lundqvist has to be the best, even if the Finns and Soviets got better and all that stuff. But like, no one can top Lundqvist. He's just the best in the league at this point. And then like all of them are like nodding and agreement as the other side of the table continues talking about like actual celebrities and not just sport athletes. Emmy, are you looking through the magazine which Diedrich brought for you? Just poking
yes.
through it.
But I think also just because generally this is a thing that I always do, where I do notice I do notice like Lars and Ingrid and Yash and Joel, right? Like I just look at them and see that they're doing okay, but I just don't talk to them directly. So I guess like I'm reading and like peeking and seeing.
Yeah.
When you look at us, I think Yash does make eye contact with you. Like I don't think like I am not happy about how like we
That
have
morning
to keep
went.
our friendship secret. That sucks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, like looks at you and just like sees that you're next to this Diedrich asshole and just okay. And then turns back to the kids.
Diedrich sees you, Emmy, looking at these 4, and he'll look over at them as well, see that Yash makes eye contact with you and go, aren't they all such losers? That Yash kid tried to start a fight with me this morning again for like the 7th time.
Why were you trying to start fights with randos?
I wasn't trying to. No, Emmy. No, no. I wasn't trying to start the fight. I was just walking out. I told you I am going to go to the kiosk, get a magazine for you, and he just bumped into me. He's just rude. I don't think he knows. I don't think he watches where he goes or anything like that. Like like who knows?
You know, I really don't think that you should start like fights with other people. I mean, like
I didn't try to start the fight. I said I'm not going to fight you. I can't sit out of the game this weekend. I don't really want a problem here, buddy. Just have a good day. And I let him go. And he was like, no, fight me. Come on. right? Like just egging me on.
I'm just saying that I really need you to get into my parents' good graces because, like, I mean, they already don't want me to have anyone, like, to date anyone. And imagine if they
Yeah.
find out that the person who likes me beats people up, you know?
Yeah, well, I won't beat anyone up, but if someone attacks me, I will definitely do my best. And then during hockey, that also doesn't count at all either. I can't stop that, right? That's just like part of the sport.
Well, yeah, of course, in hockey you can beat people up, but I'm talking about, like, outside of the hockey rink.
Outside of hockey, I won't get in any fights. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
So just, like, don't, like, try to start any fights, especially, like, with those randos.
Even Vesterberg? Really? Even Lars Vesterberg?
I mean, why would you try
Look
to
at him. Look at him.
He's so scrawny,
And he turns and
you're
quietly
so
just
big.
stares at Lars. Lars is like pecking at his sandwich almost, and looks a bit dorky. Like not absurdly dorky, but just kind of like a young kid kind of dweeb, right? And
Eating the sandwich.
yeah, eating a sandwich. And he'll go, look, he's pecking at you. He looks like a little bird.
I mean, yes,
Have
he
you
does
seen his
look like a bird.
binoculars?
Quite funny looking, actually, but
Yes. That's what
he's
I'm
like,
saying.
No,
It
but what
just
I'm
makes-
saying is
I
that
feel
he's
like it's
scrawny
right.
and you're not. Why would you beat people
Well,
up?
I
who's
mean,
like,
when I was small, my older brothers used to give me wedgies and told me I was a loser, I would never be anything, and it made me into the person I am today, the young man I am today. And so I just think of it as, like, we on the team think of it as, like, look at his build. He could be great at hockey if he tried out for the team, but, like, he needs that push, you know?
So you're saying that, like, that's your way of trying to build character?
It's like trying to extend a branch and be like, hey, let's be friends. But before we can be friends, we need to, like, put you through things.
That doesn't
No.
really make any sense.
It makes
like,
sense. It
especially
makes
if
sense.
the
It
other
makes
person
sense.
does not know what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll think about it. We'll brainstorm today during practice and, like, after school. And you're free to come. We'll be at Hemingway Park because the rinks are rented out this evening if you want to come and watch us.
I'll try to make it.
Oh, great. And when you just say that, I'll try to make it, he like almost stands up at the table. The other hockey guy is getting up with him. It's almost Emmy as if that's all he wanted from this interaction, right? He will say, well, we'll see you today after school then. We'll probably be there until the sun goes down and a bit after. I brought my headlamps. Everyone brought headlamps, so we should be out there for a while. And he'll point finger guns at you like a cool dude, slick back his cool mullet and say, I'll see you after school then, Emmy.
I'll
And
see
smile with that gap tooth. Or that,
And I'm
not
gonna
gap
wink,
tooth, but
but
just,
properly.
Ooh, you properly
I know
wink
how
at
to.
him.
Ooh.
He turns around. Diedrich, to your guys' U4's approximation, looks like kind of high on his own supply. He'll walk past the four of you and quietly say, you look like a bird at you, Lars.
Yeah, you look like an ass.
That's not very nice of you, sir. Don't call friends birds.
Lars isn't a bird.
We have a wide array. We have a wide variety of responses to bullying in this
You
group.
do. And Diedrich just doesn't even have the time of day for any of you all and will strut off.
I shoot a spitball
It's
at him.
okay.
Ooh, you
It's-
shoot a
it's
spitball
fine.
at him?
Yeah, just
Are you trying to instigate something? Or do you want to be sneaky about it and embarrass him almost?
you know what? I've been so upfront. I think it's time for a little sneaky stuff.
Yeah. Roll sneak for me, please.
Diedrich palmed the dip, guys.
Yeah.
There it is. There's our one for this session.
There it is.
Gotta have it.
All right. Once again, this is 7 dice.
Perfect. Can we not
All
just role play
failures.
as kids for 7 hours? This is so fun. I'm sorry, y'all.
I have 1 success.
Oh my
Ooh,
god.
Okay. Where's the spitball land?
It lands. Oh, it gets in the mullet.
Ooh.
And I get it with
Yeah.
enough velocity that like it gets in there.
Yep.
In there.
Sticks in there.
So he doesn't feel it. It's just there, and everyone can see.
Yeah.
And it's not a small spitball either.
Mhm.
Like, it's multiple like paper straw
Yep.
wrappers.
Perfect.
Oh,
perfect,
gross.
Perfect. Just gross. It's absolutely gonna dry in there and just be a
He's gonna have to
mess.
cut that fucking mullet,
Yep.
baby.
Yep. And so the hockey guys strut off a little bit. No one the wiser, but some of like the not super cool kids do see it. Their eyes look like dinner plates as they look at you, Josh, and like they just go back to doing their own stuff. They don't want to get like they don't want Diedrich's attention and they don't want yours. They just just
I'm
have
just twirling the straw in my fingers.
Perfect.
Like it's a pen.
Don't
All right.
worry, Lars. You're not a bird, and I give him a carrot stick.
Thanks, but it's okay.
I don't understand why he said that, because you don't look like a bird at all.
Yeah, he pecks at his food.
I guess you kind of do.
Hey, it's not bad. That's the thing. It's fine. You like birds, don't you?
Yeah.
Then what's wrong with being called a bird? You're being called the thing that you love the most in the world. Fuck that asshole.
You said the word. You can't say that word.
Everyone in
Forget that you
school
all are
looks at
children.
Yash.
I'm a mature 14. I know how to curse, all right?
So when I am 14, am I allowed to also curse?
You'll never be allowed to curse, Rat.
Okay.
And so, does anyone else want any scenes before the end of the day, or can we scoot to you all kind of like meeting up after school?
After school meetup.
I'm down
Let's go
to
meet up.
I finished my sandwich.
Is that cool, Ingrid, or is there something you wanted?
I think I'm good for today.
Okay, perfect.
We fall into Attack or Trier.
In that case,